Hi everyone, I hope you're all well and enjoying this beautiful sunshine on this 9/9 portal. Today is one of fulfillment, closure, closing out all those old programs that are no longer serving our highest good. So I'm setting the intention for a reading today to help guide us and navigate us through this wonderful auspicious day. So I'm asking for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective or anyone who views this video. I'll choose 3 cards, read the base of the pack, and I'll also choose one from Anasta's pack as well for some extra guidance. So I'm setting the intention for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective or anyone who views this video. Today we have the moon in Cancer, so when the moon is in Cancer, it's an Om in Cancer. It rules Cancer, so it's exalted there. So lots of intuition, love, family time. And also today with the 9/9 portal, it's actually looking at our inner child, to what would our inner child would have loved to hear when we were in childhood. What words, and to give our inner child those words. So a very internal day, going into really reflection, going into deep reflection. So I'm asking for a message for the highest and greatest good for the collective or anyone who views this video. There we have the moon, the tower, and justice. 3 major arcanas today. So this is big energy that we're working with. Then we've got the Hanged Man, the 7 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the Temperance there, and the 4 of Wands, and then the World. So this is a wonderful time of, we're looking into our lives and looking at what's going on within us. So we may be holding on to some pain from the past. The energy of the planets all in retrograde, asking us to look at the past, to be able to reflect. Our nervous system holds all our memory, and that's when we're going through challenging times. We feel that the energy of those challenges. So as children, we've moved through life feeling energy around us that maybe we could not understand. So today is all around going in and looking at our inner child and speaking to her or him in a way that we would have loved when we were expressing ourselves as dance or being silly, and how we were chastised, that stop us now from stepping out of that contracted emotion for fear of being chastised. So there's a lot going on today All the planets are in retrograde apart from Venus, and Mars is moving direct as well. So this is the divine masculine, the divine feminine moving forward. So as we are, as Jupiter is stationary and is asking us, where are we fearful in our lives? Where are we blocking ourselves? Where do we see weakness in ourselves? Because that's where the limitation resides. The healing is needed in that place. The moon, we're moving up to this wonderful new moon in Virgo. So as we're moving up to that new moon, doing our reflections, honestly, allowing our inner child to speak to us, and then answering our inner child in a loving and encouraging way. So any shadows may be coming to the surface, and this is what I'm being shown with the planets in retrograde. They're asking us to look within our mind, because if there's any conflict there, to go deeper. Because beneath all that conflict and battling or whatever may be going on, beneath all that, there's a beautiful world, a beautiful vision. And as we go and connect with that beautiful vision, beyond all the conflict, the challenges, when we connect with that beautiful vision, it stimulates our pineal gland, it wakes us up, it activates our third eye. And we start to see through the illusions. So with the planets all in retrograde, and we have this moon here that may be showing us and bringing us up some shadows. Uranus is in retrograde, so asking us, how are we coping with change? How do we cope with any kind of sudden shock or anything like that? To centre ourselves. So things coming on in our lives, showing us a reaction within us. We have the Tower here. This is the card of Mars. It's moving forward, it is indirect. So helping us with that energy of motivation to let go of anything that is false, our own false illusions, letting go of all that, allowing everything, allowing all the old paradigms to collapse. And you can see there the tree has been struck with lightning, and the squirrel is there, still has his food there, his nuts, but watching the lightning strike his tree. He's got everything he needs there. So whatever is falling away around us, know that we've got everything that we need within us to build new and firm foundations in our own truth, in love. So allowing things to fall away now, shattering the illusions that we aren't good enough, shattering those illusions that we need to fit in order to be accepted, because if we're doing that, we're really not accepting ourselves to come back into our own light. So all this is beautiful energy, and the 9-9 portal today is one of fulfillment. It's spiritual ending. It's endings on a spiritual level. So we start seeing things that are no longer serving us, those old thought forms that are really blocking us from coming into our spiritual side. And as we do that, as we cut through those illusions, things start to fall away. Just like the breaking of the shell that I keep seeing that we're all going through. Those shells are breaking, and we are now starting to poke our head out of those shells and see the light, see the expansion, and we are traveling towards that light. Whatever we focus on, there's so many timelines playing out, so many options open to us. Whatever timeline, whatever we are focusing on, that is what we are going to create. So ensuring we're doing our inner cleansings, that we are coming into alignment with those visions of the wishes being fulfilled, and actually feeling that. And then justice again, this card of justice reminding us that any conflicts going on around is coming from within. This conflict in our heads, we'll know if we have conflicts going on in our mind, we won't find those solutions. They're only in our heart. So if there's conflict going on, we're in our head, in a perception in our own head. To really be aware of that, because with this card I see Mahat, the goddess, and she stands there with the scales, and she measures our heart in one side of the scale when we pass, and a feather, ostrich feather, in the other scale. And if our heart is heavy, it means we come back and learn the lessons that we haven't learned in this lifetime. So again, this is coming through as a karmic lesson, to really put all conflict down and see through the conflict to beautiful solutions. And if we're finding that hard, ask heaven, ask our angels and our guides to please help us see a win-win situation. Please help us to come into alignment to release this karmic cycle. This is the card connected to Libra, balancing off the scales, and Libra loves balance. It loves balanced relationships and truth. So if we're seeing something outside that is causing us to come out of balance, it's to go in and examine ourselves and come into our divine truth. And our divine truth does not judge. It sees that everyone is on their own path, and if we have some kind of cord or emotional connection with that, to cut it, to unhook it, so that we can come back in balance. So this is a powerful day of balancing karma, going all the way to childhood, and we are healing from ancestral wounds from our past lives, all in this lifetime, hopefully. And as we are cleansing everything, finding the solutions, praying for the solutions, sending healing in every place that we see any kind of disharmony, balancing those scales. These are the scales of justice. Whatever we send out comes back. So if we are feeling victimized in any way, or being placed in a uncomfortable situation in any area of our lives, examine the feeling, calling in Archangel Raphael to bring healing to our nervous system that holds all the memory, all those emotions from our past, until we feel ourselves come back into alignment and the solutions coming in. And then we have the Hanged Man, and Neptune is facing the galactic core. Neptune, Pisces, facing the galactic core. So we're receiving these downloads. So when we're asking for the healing, so doing any kind of spiritual healing, Reiki healing, painting, writing, just quietening our minds, allowing ourselves to come into that beautiful divine alignment and allow it to flow through us, being the channel of higher consciousness, surveying all areas of our lives. This is a card of awakening. Are we going to allow certain situations in our life that are troubling us, that are taking up so much space in our head and in our being, that are keeping us in a dense energy? Because that's all that will happen there. When we look into all areas of our lives and feel into all areas of our lives, feel into our past, if there's anything still there that we haven't healed from. The energy from Neptune is bringing in divine healing, miraculous healing. But in order to receive that healing, we have to step into faith. So the Hanged Man, we're all being suspended, not able to move. So having patience with that also, having patience with ourselves. And then we have the Seven of Wands. You can see her, she's raised above all those wands that are coming up towards her. She's raised above, she's in that crystal ball. And again, crystal balls, hold, if you have any crystal, clear quartz crystal, crystal ball, hold it and visualize your life, because crystal emphasizes everything that we place into it. And every time we look into our crystal, visualize our life. And if we feel any kind of doubt creeping in, put the crystal down, take some nice deep breaths, go out into nature until we can align ourselves again with that vision. So maybe this is the ones that are coming up. There are thoughts that, nah, that can't happen. Urea. And also letting go of how it will happen. Because once we have a vision, then our mental head thoughts will start to create how we're going to get there. Look at everything that we haven't got in our lives to get us there. And it's to rise above all that. All of it. We have an almighty creator within us to cleanse those lower thought forms, to bring healing to our nervous system, knowing that if anything's coming up now, it's from the past, and it's coming up for healing. And then we have the Temperance, this temperance, being tempted to go into old reactions, those triggers, those hooks still pulling there. And he's balancing the sun and the moon, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, balancing, parenting ourselves. And it's so beautiful to see especially my children, how they are with their children. They're so open-minded, and that is beautiful. But maybe things weren't like that in our childhood. Maybe we were so different that they couldn't really understand us. And to look at that within us, to nurture ourselves and give ourselves the love that maybe people around us didn't know how to. And so this is the balancing and the alchemizing of our emotions, balancing our divine masculine and our divine feminine. And as we do that, our intuition blossoms, our creativity increases, our energy increases, the motivation. So this is a beautiful time that we're going through, and this beautiful angel is around us, helping us, listening to us, listening to our prayers. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. We're all doing this together. No one is above and no one is any less. We're all the same. We all hold a gift. Each one of us holds a gift which is unique. But when we come together and support each other, we create a beautiful world, a beautiful life, and we become the masters of our lives. So you can see there these people all doing something different, creating that tapestry. And that's the same as us. We're all here doing something different and creating a wonderful new world. And then we have the Four of Wands, my favourite card, of enjoyment, of celebration, of marriage. And you can see there the 10 is held with the 4 wands in the 11-11 position. So we're moving through this 9-9 portal, which all leads up to a number 7 universal day. And we're in a 7 universal year. So this is very powerful. There's closings. And the 7s are bringing heaven to earth within us, anchoring it within us, and then it starts to activate and go out and ripples into our lives, bringing celebration, bringing upliftment. We're all moving through this portal, and we will come out if we are focusing on the joy, the upliftment, the celebration of life, the freedom, the expansion, standing in our own sovereignty with our minds, with our emotions, and especially with our bodies. And we move into this beautiful energy of the 11-11, and we all know 11-11 is keep your thoughts positive. If you see 11-11 on the clock or wherever, we know to stop and to focus, be mindful of what we were just thinking about or feeling. just before we saw that 11:11 and bring ourselves back into abundant thinking of upliftment for that minute. That's all. And we will shift through a portal. Just in that minute, we'll move into a different vibration. And the more we do that, and when our third eyes are activated, we will be seeing the signs, the numbers, the words, the names of our loved ones that are around us, feeling our loved ones are around us as well, because they're all coming close and guiding us with so much love and compassion, because as we heal, they heal, and that healing goes into our future generations. We're holding divine light within us all, almighty creative energy. So I'm setting the intention now for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective, for anyone who views this video. And as always, take what resonates and just put the rest to one side. Just asking now for a message. And in this moment, allow anything that is troubling you to just melt away. Surrender it in this moment. And we have energy signature. So this is, the past is in the present. We're constantly healing from the past, from situations and maybe people that didn't love themselves, and maybe imprinted that on us through lack of understanding us, try to suppress us to keep us safe. It all comes from either love or fear, not from any nasty place. And we are alchemizing the fearful energies that we have within us. And wherever we place our energy, that is what will start emitting from that object, from our food when we're cooking, from any drinks when we're blessing the water. And it's very important to bless our water and send healing into our water supply, because water holds memory. And this is the message that's coming through, to really send healing and bless our water supply. And if we all do that, that memory, that energy signature will go into our water, into our oceans. We are 80%, 75-80% fluid. So as we are blessing our water and taking our water in, we change the energy signature within us, because it holds memory. So when we're holding it and feeling joy and drink that water, we will start to feel the upliftment. When we are cooking and we put our symbols in our food and everyone eats it, enjoys it, and likewise, if we're rushing around and our head is not, our energy is not focused on what we're doing, it doesn't taste the same. It gets left. when we speak to someone, we will leave that energy signature. And Mercury in retrograde is asking us, how are you communicating with yourself? Have you got conflicts going on in there? Because if you've got conflicts going on in there, they'll be out there in your perception. If you're speaking from, and our thoughts, we start to speak from them. So if we are speaking from those conflicting thoughts, we will create conflict. We will put that energy signature out into our reality. When we go beneath all the conflicting thoughts, all the battling thoughts, there is a beautiful energy there that stimulates and activates our pineal gland. And then we start to see straight through illusions, and then we wake up to the reality that we are co-creating, and whatever energy we place into a relationship, if we're in a relationship and we're wanting love, we'll always want love. It will be missing. When we're in a relationship and we actually feel love and give love, then that comes back. It starts to become part of our relationship, part of our life. So whatever we require on the outside world, it has to come from a place within. That's our energy signature. And the base of the pack is Divine Will. Let go of fear. Let it go. It holds no place in our minds and in our bodies other than to chain us into some kind of prison. Fear paralyzes us. It stops us from moving. Fear, there are numerous fears that we have been programmed into, conditioned into. Every time someone has stopped us from expressing ourselves in our authenticity that's a little bit different, it's done out of fear. And we move and allow this light, this divine light, to dissolve those fears, dissolve those chains, so that we can move through life with our head up, leaving our energy signature of the 5th dimension everywhere we go. And in time that builds and builds and builds till we all evolve into the 5th dimension. We have free will to choose. Sometimes it's easier to go into fear and to see the shadow side of life. But that shadow side is coming from something unhealed within us. To really own that, because if we keep putting it out there, we will live in a shadow. Bringing light in. We've got the moon in Cancer, very, very intuitive, the divine feminine, nurturing ourselves. Jupiter in Virgo, no, Jupiter in Taurus, retrograde in there in Taurus, asking us, where are we blocking ourselves in our lives? And sit and feel that. Feel where we are putting so much doubt in in front of us, in our future, in this moment, and allow this light to dissolve all that doubt. And as the light dissolves the doubt, we become stronger. We become empowered in a loving way, not in any anger, not in any power over anyone, or just in complete alignment to our own truth, our love, our joy, and choosing that and letting go of everything else. We've got the Tower here. Things are falling away, and it is not to fear them. The planets are in retrograde, showing us what's no longer serving us and helping us to dissolve that, because we're going inward, and we are cultivating our inner world. Because as we cultivate our inner world, when the planets start to go direct, all the wisdom that we've attained going in to those limitations that we have within us that have been placed on us for lifetimes, we start to really unhook and move forward and put all that we've learned into practice, into our life. It becomes a way of life. It's not practicing any longer. We actually take it on as a way of life, and we're all going through this massive evolution shift into higher consciousness. So there we have divine will. Choose you. Choose love. If we're putting other people's feelings before our own, we need to look at that also, because there's some codependency going on, that if I upset that person, then I'm going to be so unhappy, I'd be so guilty. That's a form of codependency, putting the responsibility of our happiness, of our lives, on the shoulders of others, and likewise not taking on any burdens from any over responsibility, where we've gone into that place of wanting to rescue, or through guilt, or whatever it may be. It's all coming to the surface today. 9-9, completion. 9 in the tarot is the Hermit, and it's a double 9, so double go within, really having those conversations and listening to the conversations, how we're speaking to ourselves, how we're thinking, not only when we are conscious and doing our affirmations or our positive statements, but when we're not doing that, when we're having to do the mundane of putting the rubbish out, or hanging the washing out, or anything that takes us away from what we like doing. How are we speaking to ourselves then? Are we in a place of resentfulness, or impatience, or frustration? That's where the magic resides. When we're looking around our environment and getting upset with anything, that's where the magic resides, because that's where that is holding us from all our past conditioning, from our ancestors, and we're changing and healing all that. So that's the times when things are not going our way. What are the conversations we're having with ourselves then? Not when we're in a good mood and everything is joyful and good. When it's actually going against us, what are the conversations? And the message I'm getting when that happens is treat those situations as if it's in your favour. So even though it may feel it's going against us, to see it as going in our favour. Because when we see it going in our favour, we change our energetic signature and we very subtly change our reality. So that is powerful. That is powerful. And it takes a great deal of self-control to do that. To really, no matter what we're faced with, see it as a positive. Feel it as a positive instead of putting a load of negative energy into it. See it as if it was something positive coming to us. So then we start to change the energetic signature of our reality. Wow, wonderful, wonderful cards today. So have a wonderful, wonderful 9/9. Completing out those old cycles now. Those old disruptions within us. Distortions that are within us, closing out the cycles so that we can all move through this beautiful portal into the Four of Wands, the celebration, the happiness, the prosperity, the passion and everything else. So I'm sending so much love. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy this. We're having a heat wave in England and yeah, it's so beautiful. So whatever you're doing, less is best, less is more. I'm sending so much love. Thank you for listening. God bless. Thank you.